Hey guys, what's up? Becky here, coming to you an hour early for my day 12 Ultimate Reset recap. I'm normally live at 9, but I'm going live at 8 because y'all, I need to get my head in a better headspace today. It's Friday, as you know. Sorry. And I am home tonight because today has been quite the challenge. I have to say, today has been good in so many ways and really challenging in other ways. Like, not really challenging, I guess, but confusing. Like, just weird. It's been a weird day. So, I am going to go take a nice bath and relax right after I make this video and just call a spade and wrap this day up. Okay? So I'm coming to you early so I can get my zen on here in a minute and just chill out. But I wanted to give you guys some insight into my first really weird day on this cleanse. I would say so far everything has been going really good and really positive, especially compared to some of the reviews that I've heard from others in my accountability group where they're, struggling with things that I have not been struggling with. And so I was like, maybe I'm just the weirdo that adapts really well to this style of eating. But today was definitely one of those days where I think the perfect little storm happened. Nothing crazy, but just some annoyances. So let's go through it, right? Today, let me start with last night actually. Last night I had some like stress and just dumb stuff happening. And so I did have a handful of grapes at night, right? Normally, my go-to pattern is when I get stressed out, tired, cranky, upset, whatever, I reach for food. That's my like emotional trigger. And normally it would be for something a whole hell of a lot worse than grapes. But I did have, a good handful of grapes, so probably half a cup. And they were really good, but probably not the right choice, seeing as how you're not supposed to have any fruit after your mid-afternoon snack. My guess is that it's because you're not supposed to have any sugar that late. And, seeing as how sugar deprived your body is on this cleanse, it's like getting a little shot of crack when you get your sugar. So, all that to say that last night I only slept like not even 6 hours. I haven't looked at my Fitbit tracker to see how restful it was, but I think I went to sleep around, 10:30 or whatever when the Olympics were on, and I woke up at like 4:45 for no reason. Normally I would have like rolled over and tried to go back to sleep for another hour, but I thought, you know what, maybe I'll get up and I'll be productive. That way, if I feel tired in the afternoon, it won't be a big deal if I take a nap. Was I super productive? No, but I got up. So anyway, I got up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Craziness. That's not normal. That's not normal for me. That was number one. That was weird. So since it was so early, I did not want to eat that early. So instead of diving right in and taking my supplements and starting my breakfast, I had a cup of hot honey lemon water, which I don't believe honey is on the plan. So that was technically a cheat as well. But in the morning, sometimes for me, like if I don't, I should have had some herbal tea now that I think about it. Okay. Anyway, in the mornings when I'm not on the cleanse, I sometimes if I do end up getting up early, I don't want to have coffee that early, so I'll have just a cup of boiling water or boiling hot water with about a teaspoon of honey in it and about an eighth of a lemon squeezed in it. It's really good to start my day with. It refreshes me, it wakes me up, makes me feel good. So I had that this morning. Then I wanted some extra energy in the morning because I got up so friggin' early. So I actually swapped out my fruit breakfast, my 3 cups of fruit breakfast for my regular vegan chocolate shake and 1 cup of strawberries, which is the recipe that's allowed on this plan. It was delicious. I absolutely love, and again, this cleanse has reminded me that I really enjoy having my Shakeology every day. Like, I feel like I was taking it for granted there for quite a while, and not really appreciating the energy that it gives me, the digestion help it gives me, all the goodness that has kept me drinking it for 3 years. So this has just been a good reminder of why I do that. What is going on with this hair? It's driving me crazy. Okay, see my cranky pants attitude. Anyway, I had my breakfast of Shakeology. That was great. I had a lot of energy. I was super full. Um, I went ahead and got some work done, and then what, about 11 o'clock I said, okay, my husband and I have been taking a bike ride on the beach every day around noon, and I noticed that I kind of struggle with getting my supplements and my food either all done before we go ride, or if I wait until after, then I'm hungry and it's a little late for me to be eating that big of a lunch. So I decided to split the difference. I took my sups and I ate my soup, which was a giant bowl of that hearty miso soup, which is really delicious. I'm gonna make it again for sure after this cleanse. But so I had like half my lunch, and then we went on a nice 6 mile bike ride on the beach, which was awesome. Got a little sun, got a little exercise, jumped in the ocean. It was very nice. And then I came back and I ate that big freaking microgreen salad. So um, that was good. Like for me, it was better because I wasn't so stuffed right at one sitting. I think I mentioned that yesterday, that when I eat a whole bunch at one meal, I get tired afterwards, and I don't like that feeling because 9 times out of 10, right after I eat a meal, I need to go back to work, right? And it doesn't help if I'm like falling asleep in my chair. So that was good. I would say the only bad thing so far that I noticed today was that, I mean, I've been on this cleanse 11 days and I haven't had any kind of like digestive upset or anything like that. But for whatever reason today, I had like tons of gas. Hello, I'm talking about gas on the internet. What has my life come to? Anyway, I just want to be honest with you guys, right? Because if you decide to do this cleanse, you want to be prepared for all the various things that can happen, and indigestion or gas is one of them. I have not experienced it at all until today, until day 12. So I don't know if my body is finally catching up and detoxing and, getting all that stuff purged out of my system into my colon and hopefully on its way soon, or what. But I was like, geez, man, this is uncomfortable, just kind of bloaty and then obviously gassy. So much fun. um, the last thing, guys, I'm looking at my list again, but the last thing is so all that happened, around 1 o'clock or whatever, lunchtime and everything. And then usually by 5 o'clock, 5:30, I'm starting to get hungry. So I'm starting to think about and plan dinner, and I might not eat until 7, but at least by like 5, I'm going, okay, I need to start taking my supplements. I need to start preparing this because I'm actually going to be really hungry by the time 7 o'clock rolls around. 5:30 showed up today and I was not hungry at all. Like I wasn't hungry and I had no appetite. So I was like, okay, well, if you saw the picture I posted right before this video of the meal that I had tonight, I mean, it was like a full packed dinner plate. So I'm literally like 5:30, 6 o'clock, I'm looking at that plate going, oh my God, I'm not even hungry. Like, how am I going to eat this? I don't want to eat it. I'm full. It doesn't sound good. I'll go into that in a second. I was like, what the heck am I going to do? So I said, you know what? Forget it. I'm not hungry. I'm not going to force myself. I'll just wait another hour and then I'll eat. Then I'll take my sups and then eat. So I went back up to my office, sat down on the couch for a minute to get some work done, and I fell sound asleep for like 30 or 40 minutes. I was sitting there 1 second, and the next second I was like passed out asleep. It was crazy. So that's why I think maybe my body is really finally catching up and starting to detox, because those are some of the things that I've heard other people in the group talk about. Extreme fatigue, on and off, bloaty, gassy, that sort of stuff. So I was like, well, maybe finally I'm getting the deep dirt out of my system and it's just has to happen. So I don't know. But long story short, I'm going to cut this off in just a second because I feel like I'm rambling. But after my nap, I came back downstairs and plated up that huge plate of food. Um, let's talk about the food. So tonight was 3 cups, 3 cups of roasted beets. Roasted beets. 3 cups of roasted beets. I just want you guys to understand how many beets that is. That's a lot of freaking beets. And I'm not necessarily somebody who likes beets. I did get the golden beets, which are better than the red ones, um, for non-beet lovers, just in case you need an alternative. You can swap out these meals, like you can change, you don't have to eat that exact meal, like there are swaps and alternatives if you just absolutely can't stomach it, but I'm bound and freaking determined to do this cleanse exactly how it's laid out, so I ate the beets. Um, Second weird food of the night, millet. If you've never had millet, when you cook it, it literally is kind of like pouring bird seed into a pan. I grew up with birds, and I think that maybe we did actually feed our birds millet. I vaguely remember that word from being a kid. So I may have had a big bowl of bird seeds at night. But ironically, it tasted really good. It tasted like deconstructed cornbread. So like if you took a piece of cornbread and like mashed it back up into kind of cornmeal texture, that's what it felt like or tasted like in texture wise once it was cooked. So that was actually good, even though it was very weird cooking it. And then the third one, weird food. I had 3 for 3 weird foods today. Was coconut collard greens. And with my lack of appetite, honestly, that just sounded like, what? Coconut greens? It just, no. So, whatever. I cooked them up. It was like a quarter of an onion, a big handful of collard greens. In my case, it was kale because I picked up the wrong bag of greens, but I think it worked out fine. And then you put a quarter cup of coconut milk in them while you sauteed them. I've never used coconut milk. I've never even had coconut milk, but once they were cooked, man, they were freaking delicious. I will definitely be doing that one again too. So it just goes to show, guys, that these recipes, they may not sound good, they may look weird, they may sound weird, they may just be the last thing you'd ever want to eat, but once you start putting the food in your system, they make these meals up because they have the right nutrient profile for you. And so if you just eat them, if you just follow the plan, it all works out. So yeah, so I come down at 6:30, I'm not hungry, I slam my sups, wait till 7, sit down, and I ate that whole freaking plate of food because that's what the plan says to do. And to be honest, I enjoyed it. I mean, that was a lot of freaking beets, but when you combine them with the greens and the millet, it was, they were pretty good. So, I'm going to cut this off because I know it's long. I can't see the timer, but I know it's long. But I am going to just take today and I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to take a nice bath. Hopefully I have some salts or oil or something to stick in there and like calm my mind down because I'm on that little threshold of just being irritated. I'm just cranky and I don't have any good reason why, but I'm just like, weird food, not hungry. And apparently I like being hungry now. I don't know. But I'm just going to chill and relax and take care of myself so that tomorrow I can approach day 13, lucky number 13, with a spectacular attitude. Okay? Guys, have a great night. Thank you for listening to this long, gripey ramble. But there again, if you got any value out of this, please give me a like. If you know anybody who could get value out of this or needs to hear this information, hit share and send it on over to them. And post any questions that you personally have below. Peace, guys. Happy Friday. I will talk to you tomorrow.